Hey everybody, I have a big update coming for you for one of the projects that I'm really excited about, which is Enviro by Moduluc. And I would highly advise you watch my first video on them before you watch this video. So basically what these guys are doing is they're tackling the B2B metaverse space, right? So they're essentially targeting art galleries, they're targeting like NFT collections, they're targeting businesses who want to show off their products. And they're doing that with a photorealistic galleries type of feature. So if you look at their Twitter, their spaces are absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful, right? That's kind of what they're really focused on, is using Unreal Engine 5 to have the most absolutely beautiful spaces possible to showcase NFT collections, to showcase physical products, digital art, and so on. So they're not going for like, hey, we're going to build a second life kind of metaverse, right? They're just literally solving one major problem, which is making stuff look really pretty so you can sell it in the metaverse to really market products and so on. So I own a tier 2 Enviro NFT and a tier 3. Currently the floor price for tier 1 is 6 Sol. So I did buy in a little bit earlier and it's appreciated quite a bit. However, I do think there's easy 5 to 10x here, especially with their token PRMS. But let's quickly talk about why I think this project is undervalued, and it has to do with all the announcements and the ecosystem they're building. So some of the big updates they've come out with recently are AirAI. So that's their first major update, which is essentially a brand new NFT collection and product. And what it is, it's a social expansion of Enviro. You basically can build your ideal space in Enviro and then use AirAI to share that space and to create a social experience. So this involves having a chat feature, whether it be one-on-one or universal chat. It includes basically advanced voice features where, let's say if inside the space you're further away, you'll actually sound quieter than if you're closer to somebody. And then having an avatar. So they're actually going to build an avatar that's going to be basically their hyper realistic avatars, right? And they have some basically beta images of what these could look like, and they look pretty incredible. Now, depending on your tier of AirAI, you might also have a marketplace and storefront, so you could actually sell NFTs to customers, you could sell digital products to customers, you'll have an auction house, the ability to have streaming and movies, ticketing systems, and also rentals. So you can rent out your Enviro and your AiriA to a company or to another NFT collection. So that's also interesting. Now, the native PRMS token will be used throughout this ecosystem to facilitate trading and basically buying all of this. Now, the best part is, even though this is a new NFT collection, you just get airdropped the AirAI that you hold of the Enviro, right? So this means it's probably a good time to pick up a few more Enviros because you're going to get airdropped this as well. And it's a whole new NFT collection. And then the avatars are obviously going to be very exciting. I'm very, very excited about what they do with that. Now, as a user, you'll be able to use Enviro and other Moduluc projects. Now, let's talk about the second big announcement, which is MWS, which is Moduluc Web Services. Now, as you can imagine, to create something so photorealistic that looks so damn impressive, it's probably a massive amount of processing power, right? Most of us don't have the power of that in our laptops to really run something like this in the quality it's supposed to be. So that was always a big obstacle for the Enviro team to build this product. So what they've done with Moduluc Web Services is they're essentially taking a distributed GPU model, right? So you can essentially access your Enviro or your AirAI on the cloud, and the GPU processing will be kind of like virtual, basically other machines. So it's like distributed GPU computing, similar to kind of what RNDR is doing, render, to basically make it so that you're essentially streaming from another computer with the GPU running, so that all the graphic processing is being done there and being streamed over to you. So that's huge because this allows this to be really mass market, and essentially you will, Moduluc will have their own GPU servers, but they'll also create decentralized computing nodes, which will allow you as a user to actually let them use your GPU and earn basically PRMS for that, right? So you are essentially able to let users rent out their GPUs to other users who have less powerful machines. So this is big, as to scale the metaverse, you need graphic computing power, and they're making it really easy to do that. Now, they've also released a new website, unfortunately, because they're doing some major promotions right now. They're doing their Moduluc showcase where they're kind of sharing basically a lot of the details about the project. They've partnered with dozens of profile pic collections. So if you actually look at their announcements, they're just going all over this huge promotional push they're doing right now, right? So DGods is their platinum partner. So they're going to put DGods in one of their tier 7 Enviros and kind of showcase that. And they have these silver launch partners, bronze launch partners. So essentially they're doing a huge marketing push where they're putting other NFT collections into an Enviro, and then they're showcasing that. And because of that, they're just getting a massive amount of attention in this basically 4-day event, getting a lot of collabs with a ton of NFT collections. So if you see their Twitter, they're essentially retweeting all these other projects. They're getting tens of thousands of views on their project right now. So I do think there's going to be definitely more price appreciation as people get to really learn about the project. So they're doing the marketing in a smart way, which makes me really bullish on the project. So because of that attention, the website's kind of down. But when I did see the website, before, I was pretty impressed. I think they're definitely improving some things. I've given them some feedback on how to make it even better. I'm sure if you, when you're watching this video, they'll have the website working again. So right now it's kind of just being overwhelmed by all this traffic. So guys, once you do go to the website, one thing you will realize is they have a pretty big vision where they really want to take this into a B2B use case scenario, where they want art galleries using Enviro, where they want businesses using it to showcase their products, and to also obviously the whole art collector role, right? So a lot of these whales have these big NFT collections, and honestly, Enviro looks like the coolest way to showcase them, right? Far better than a lot of the kind of tools out there right now. The biggest pro of Enviro, and you will see this from looking at their Twitter, from looking at their basically, gallery channel in their Discord, is that their level of quality is just incredible, right? Like they're able to really just have a photorealistic kind of gallery, right? So that's where they're just doing better than anybody else in the market, which is why I'm bullish on them. I would rather have an Enviro than have, let's say kind of some crappy 2D gallery or sandbox or Decentraland, right? Like this is just way better quality. With the showcase event, they're bringing a lot of news on, but I do think their larger vision is pretty ambitious, and I do think they will deliver on it. I think there's a lot of upside there. This is easily a project I think that could go to a 50 SOL or even 75 SOL floor for the tier 1s, just because of how freaking incredible it is and how much demand there will be for these Enviros once people actually get to like really see them and be able to download them and actually run them. So there are risks, right? So there are projects like Everdome, which have photorealistic graphics and huge amounts of funding that could potentially be the first to market with this. However, even though there's a massive amount of competition from projects like Everdome, it remains to be seen whether Enviro's more niche approach is going to work out, because they're going after a specific niche, so they can specifically market to those basically art galleries, to those other NFT collections, to those projects, and really focusing on that versus a project which is broader, and that's obviously going to have a much more diluted marketing approach, right? Overall, I do feel really bullish on Moduluc. I think they're trying to solve very specific problems. They're not trying to be everything for everyone. They're really focused on the higher end market. They're really focused on the B2B market. And I think with their token as well as with their Enviros, they are very underpriced, both of them. So I'm going to be stocking up on PRMS. I'm going to be buying maybe 1 or 2 tier 1 NFTs of Enviro each month and really try to create that bag and hold that bag. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this update video. Go check out their website, go check out their project, and make sure to subscribe and hit the like buttons. Comment with any projects you'd like me to cover, and go check out my Twitter, because I actually cover a lot of alpha. I even dropped the newest project that I'm working on. That's a pretty massive project, and that's something you'll have to go on my Twitter to find out about. So thanks for watching the video. Cheers.